and we thank you for your continued support of Images of Hope and our virtual classes, and for joining us from wherever you're located. Today, we'll spend time on self-care practices and meditation to promote relaxation and inner peace. Our theme for today is Small Things Make a Difference. And our goal is that you finish the session feeling refreshed and nourished and guided by your own inner wisdom. So now I'll turn it over to you, Allison, and we'll get started.
Hello, I'm going to start off with a technique that I'm just learning myself. I recently found out about it. It's called Gua Sha. It's a traditional Chinese medicine technique, and it is basically a tool assisted massage. And have you ever seen these? This is made out of jade. Sometimes you see them made out of rose quartz or another stone. And often they're accompanied by roller tool. This is a smooth side. This is a textured side. And I'm going to talk about it in terms of a facial massage, or gua sha means essentially scraping. And it is a self-soothing thing to do. Um, but first of all, before I begin, because it does involve some pressure in this scraping motion, I should say that if you have any conditions like a circulation issue, diabetes, if you're on blood thinners, consult with a physician before you start it, because this may not be a good thing to do, because you do apply quite a bit of pressure. And that could break blood vessels or cause some bruising if you are very delicate in your facial skin. So be careful if you're one of those people. But it's just good to know that this is out there. And I'll just do a quick little demo and explanation. First of all, what it does is, if you're like most of us, you hold a lot of tension in your face. So it relieves tension, it moves lymph, it can reduce puffiness and inflammation. And the movements follow the meridians or energy pathways in our face. And as Jennifer often says, we have a lot of pressure points in our facial area, and it stimulates those to move and direct energy around. So it has a lot of good benefits. There's a particularly good article on the internet that Cleveland Clinic has done. It's called Why Gua Sha Might Be Good for You, if that's something that you'd like to search for on the internet. Cleveland Clinic, and Gua Sha is spelled Guasha. There are some diagrams you can find in various places that show the direction of movement. So basically, use your nose as a reference point and a starting point. That's a reminder that all the movements should go from the center of the face outwards, as this diagram shows. So you can use the curve section to fit right along your jawline, for example, starting from the center and going outwards. You can use some of the smaller curves to use direct the pressure in a smaller area. Here's along the cheeks, always beginning from the center outwards. The smaller areas or the end, they're good to put pressure along the eyebrows And in some of Jennifer's techniques, you might remember that we do some tapping along the eyebrow area, a lot of pressure points there. Along the eyes, this is very delicate skin though, you have to be careful. And then sometimes the long edge is good for wider, smoother areas like the forehead. So that is just a very quick demonstration of this, and the rollers can be also used in some areas, but personally I just like the feel of this thinner, lighter tool without the metal on it. You don't need one of these tools. You can also use, for example, a Chinese soup spoon, or another type of spoon, but I don't like personally the feel of metal. So one of the ceramic or plastic soup spoons might be better if you just wanted to give it a try before you get one of these. Um, and it feels good. It's soothing, takes the tension, softens those muscles, and gets the energy going um, through those meridians and pressure points in your face. So be careful though. If you have any of those other conditions, you don't want to cause any bruising or broken capillaries. Don't press too hard. But the movement of energy does help promote healing and helps get rid of that tension that we always carry with us at most times. Hopefully not all the time. That's what we try to help with here in our class. And I'll move on to another technique. So our theme is even small things help. So another simple small thing that we can do, besides just our usual breathing and awareness of breathing, is a simple little breathing technique that I'll review. Some of you may remember this technique. It's called the Ujjayi breath or Ujjayi breathing. Sometimes people refer to it, it'll jog your memory, as ocean breath or Darth Vader breath. And we'll begin by just getting comfortable. Breathe normally. And to do this breath, you can start, or to learn how to do the breath, you can start by exhaling like you're trying to fog up a mirror or a glass window. You know, that kind of breath. Now do that again, but close your mouth while you're making that same sort of breath and that same sort of sound, constricting the back of your throat. It's hard for me to do it on the microphone so you can hear me, but again, try this kind of breath. Close your mouth and do it again. You'll feel that constriction in the back of your throat. It sounds like putting a shell up to your ear and hearing the ocean. That's the sound that you're making in the back of your throat. And then when you inhale, you keep that same constriction in the back of your throat to inhale. Sounds like the ocean or Darth Vader, with long, equal inhales and exhales. So try and go up to the microphone here. I don't know if you can hear that, but you get that oceany kind of sound. So long breaths, and it's as simple as that. A very simple, small technique that has a lot of benefits. It relieves stress. It also, just like the technique I just showed you with the gua sha stones, it gets energy or prana flowing well throughout the body. It the ujjayi breath also. It's interesting. It helps increase your internal body heat, which is wonderful during these cold months, and it increases the oxygen in your blood. So it has a lot of amazing benefits for just a simple little technique that you can do anytime. You can do it in the car. You're sitting at a stoplight, one of those things, or just sort of waiting in a waiting room. Um, because it's not too loud. Not too many people will notice that you're doing it, but your body will, and it'll be good. So, next, we will go on to Jennifer's guided meditation, and I will ring the bowls 3 times. My wonderful singing bowls. So, enjoy the guided meditation.
Let's get into a comfortable sitting position for meditation. And if you can, let the soles of your feet touch the floor. So try to sit in a chair and see if you can feel the floor under your heels, the ball of your foot, and even under each toe. Maybe you want to spread the toes apart if this is comfortable, so that each toe has connection to the floor. The floor is connected to the earth. So just imagine that whatever surface you're touching goes deep into the earth beneath you. And let yourself feel supported by your chair. Mm, Try to pull your belly muscles in a little bit tighter around your belly button. At the same time, try to straighten up your spine when you sit. Letting your back rest against the chair. Imagine the base of your spine stretching upwards towards the top of the head. And when you take a moment to focus on strengthening and straightening your spine upwards, it just automatically increases energy flow along the spinal cord, generating energy into the chakra systems. So it's so great to try to remember to do this from time to time. And let your shoulders relax so they're coming away from your ears. And let your arms rest on your thighs. If you'd like, you can turn your palms upwards just so that you're open to receive all of the energy from the universe, from your environment, from what's happening around you. Keep your head facing straight and focus on your inhale and your exhale. And if you'd like, you can do the type of breath that Allison was just talking about, where you feel that long exhale and Darth Vader sound coming from your throat. Really try to push out your belly if you're taking this kind of breath as you exhale and inhale so that the breath goes all the way to the depths of the core of the body. And now, with your eyes, try to focus on an object in your environment. It can be anything, anything that you see that's nearby as you keep your head kind of straight ahead. Observe the object. And just focus your attention on that. Notice the shape, the size, the texture. And then when you're ready, just gently let your eyes close if that's comfortable for you. Or if you prefer, you can keep your eyes on the object. Just check in with yourself once again to make sure you're comfortable as we move forward, going deeper into relaxation, deeper into meditation and connection with our own inner self. Shift, make any adjustments you need to be totally comfortable and supported in the chair that you're in. And now, in your mind's eye, think of the object you were just looking at or another beautiful object that you've seen, and hold that image in your mind. Maybe it's a vase or a flower, an antique, whatever it is. Try to see it in your mind's eye. And once you have a visual or a sensation of that object, try to describe what you see to yourself. Again, maybe describe the shape or the color or the sense. Inhale and exhale. Relax. Relax at each inhale and exhale. Express gratitude for the object and then let it go from your mind's eye. And just again focus on your inhale and exhale. Continue breathing, but now pay attention to anything you might smell in your environment. Is there a scent? Maybe it's just a cool breeze that you sense, or warm air, or maybe you have flowers nearby, or a pet. Notice what you are smelling, if anything, or think of your favorite scent and bring this scent to your mind's eye. Take a moment to describe it to yourself. Maybe the scent is strong, or it's very light, or it doesn't seem like a scent at all. Inhale and exhale, allowing yourself to relax even deeper. And express gratitude again for the ability to smell and for the scent in your environment. And now let go. Imagine your muscles loosening throughout your body, from your head to your toe. Any tension you might feel in your neck or your shoulders, your back, arms or legs starts to dissipate now. And now listen to what sounds you might hear around you as you inhale and exhale. Notice if it's very quiet or if you might hear something in the distance. In your mind's eye, you might want to imagine a pleasant sound, Describe what you hear to yourself or the sound that is pleasant to you. Maybe it's like a soft rhythm or hum, or the sound of beating drums. Inhale and exhale deeper, listening. And now express gratitude for being able to hear, for the sounds in your environment or your favorite sound, and let it go. And all tension is leaving now. As tension leaves, you have more room for healing within, for your body to do what it's naturally built to do in its state of relaxation, repair and heal and nurture. So now focus on your mouth, your cheeks, your jaw, your face. Try to loosen the forehead muscles. Relax your jaw, maybe open and close it. Place the tip of your tongue behind the top row of your teeth on the roof of your mouth. This is a powerful energy place of the body. Inhale and exhale, and let your mind's eye remember your favorite taste. Describe the sense of taste to yourself. Maybe it's sweet or salty. Inhale and exhale, expressing gratitude for your sense of taste, your ability to speak, to have your voice heard, and let go. And now place your palms over your heart area, taking a breath, being totally comfortable in your body and in your mind. Feel your chest rise and fall with your breath. Expanding your chest and your belly, relaxing your shoulders, Let the palms of your hands rest over your heart area with so much nurturing and love. Your touch is soothing and comforting. It feels so good to your soul. And in your mind's eye, imagine your hands are nurturing, filled with energy, and this energy helps you feel strong and powerful, healthy, kind, and grateful. Take a moment to describe what you feel from your hands over your heart. Inhale and exhale. Express gratitude towards your heart, your mind, and your hands for giving you a sensation of touch. And when you're ready, you can place your hands back on your thighs and just sit peacefully, absorbing all the power within you, acknowledging your senses and how strong they are, how vibrational they are, and protective. You can draw on this power anytime you need strength to face big challenges or even little events in life. And just remember the small things you do for yourself do make a difference. For example, when you try to speak, try to slow down and choose mindful words to express yourself. When you when you hear, try to listen as long as possible and respond in some way to bring joy or gratitude. And when you taste, try to sit down and take time to digest and describe what you ingest and notice how it tastes and smells. And when you touch, try to do so with compassion and empathy. Take time to notice how things feel and do only the things that are pleasing to your senses rather than disruptive. Make little small adjustments to adapt your environment, your surroundings, anything to hold comfort for you. Take another breath and just let the calm sensation of your senses wash over you now. And when you're ready, gently open your eyes and I'll guide you through a quick mind and body routine just to rejuvenate your energy and inner power. With more inner power, you have the strength to do anything you desire. So, with your eyes open, bring your hands up and just start to use circular movements over your forehead muscles. Continuing to focus on your inhale and your exhale, breathing comfortably, and just doing some soothing circles over the forehead, going out to the temples so that you start rubbing over your temples. And then you can pinch the eyebrows. So you're just literally picking up the skin behind the eyebrows, starting at the inner eye, and then continue to pinch the eyebrows all the way towards the temples. This really feels good on the forehead, releases tension in the head and any headaches. This is a great thing to do. And then just do some circles around the temples again. And then use your fingertips to rub the center of the eyebrows, the third eye, the third eye chakra is here, your mind's eye. Just stimulate that area. This is also a bliss point to stimulate happiness, and also a point that helps reduce insomnia. So you can't go wrong with stimulating the spot. And then just move up to the top of the head and just do some circular movements at the crown chakra, the very top of center of the head. Bring your hands back down to your cheeks and just rub the cheeks, especially the jaw. Put some pressure there if it feels comfortable. And then just look up and stroke your chin very gently 3 times. Let your palm rest over your chest, right under the collarbone. You have a thumb on one side of the collarbone and your index finger on the other. There's a natural indentation point there for anxiety. Take a breath here. Place your hands on your heart area. Another breath. Just brush off the energy from your shoulder to your fingertips 3 times. And then brush off the energy on the front of the body, all the way down the legs and toes. Brush off the back side if you can reach. And then bring your hands to your heart. Be grateful for today. And I'll turn it back over to Allison.
I liked how Jennifer worked with all the senses, made us aware of everything going on around us, and that is so helpful if you have an anxiety attack, or if you suffer from a moment of panic or jitteriness. Focusing on all the external stimuli, smells, things we can touch, sounds, helps bring us out of our heads and grounds us. And there's an activity you can do that incorporates some sensory aspects, and can be very therapeutic, and you can be creative with it. It's to make I call it a bag of peacefulness, or a peacefulness box. You can call it whatever, but that's what I like to think of. You can use little pieces of things to bring you peace. Anyway, along our theme of small things, I found a nice little bag. But for this purpose, I'm going to show you some things I keep in a box. And when you have, I say, a moment where you just need to calm and center yourself, you can get out your box. And I would encourage you to put things in it that symbolize something to you. You can easily make it with small objects that touch your spirit and give you a sense of peace in a really unique and personal way, and it's different for every person. So you can fill it with beautiful rocks, stones, feathers if you're careful with them. They tend to get a little frayed. Um, Little pictures, maybe a spiritual or religious object, or something from your family history, your ancestors, nature. Here's some ideas. I have a shell, a sand dollar, and there's still some sand in it that comes out, falls out in the bottom of the box, and it's nice to rub that sand in between my fingers, and get that sensory feeling of the grittiness and the memory of walking on a beach. So it puts you in a memory, peaceful memory place at the same time as it activates your senses and gets that going. I have a string of worry beads I keep in there because I love the feel of the smoothness of the beads. I have a symbolic object that Jennifer gave this to me. It's a, whoops, it's a little figure in a yoga pose, and it has colors for all the chakras. And to me, that brings back nice memories. It makes me feel good about myself for doing this sort of thing. It's been a big part of my life, working with chakras and Reiki and energy and healing. I have a little vial of a perfume I got once, and just unstopping that and smelling it brings me back to that memory of when I got this and where it was. I think it was at an herbal conference in Oregon I went to. And then within my box, I have another box. And it's a little stone box. And in that, I keep a stone that I found once that is the smoothest stone I have ever had. And it just feels so good to hold it and feel that smoothness. And it's a very calming feeling. So there are a couple other things. I have a bead, and then a little shell that I had since I was a little girl. And I still don't know what kind it is. It's a very mysterious little spiral shell. So just some personal things, but holding them, feeling them, remembering those places where they came from or what they symbolize to me. It puts me in a peaceful place. And you can get as creative as you want and gradually add objects to your bag or box, and then get that out when you need centering or a little bit of peacefulness, or if you're having an anxious moment, it activates your senses and grounds you, like I said. So it's just a fun thing to put together for yourself, and very, very healing thing to do. as well. So that's your bag or box of peacefulness. I hope you enjoy doing that. And before we finish, one more quick tip, a very small thing you can do if you're feeling anxious, you need a little bit of grounding. Just hum a tune. The vibrations circulate energy in your system, and they're very healing vibrations in our body. It's like the holding a singing bowl next to you. Those vibrations go in and help lower your blood pressure. Just hum. It's a little thing that makes a big difference. And with that, we will finish with our quote for this class. It's from the Dalai Lama. If you think you are too small to make a difference, try sleeping with a mosquito. Think about that. You're never too small to make a difference if you want to make a difference. And the little things you do, the small things, really help in a big way. So thank you again for joining us and for all your support. We thank Images of Hope, El Dorado, and all of you. And keep on keeping on and find some relaxing time and be good to yourself. Bye bye, and we'll see you next time.